everyone. Welcome back to Original versus Remake. My name is John, and this is Dennis, and this is our show where we compare an original film to its remake, usually in superior remake, but there have been some gems in there where the remake was much better than the original. Today, in honor of the summer and you guys voting on it, you guys decided to torture us a little bit. We decided to watch Point Break, and of course the remake from 2015. Now, I consider the original one to be a classic and the remake to be, well, we'll get into it, not to spoil my full thoughts on it. But Dennis, this was actually the first time you ever watched Catherine Bigelow's Point Break, right?
First time ever in my life that I've watched either Point Break. And starting with the original, it was fine.
It was fine. See, now I'm a little insulted. I put this near the top of my favorite action films of all time list.
Really?
Yes, that's why I didn't want to spoil. Like, I have some videos on here about like my love for Point Break. The 4K came out. I find this movie to be very quotable. Is it very cheesy? Yes, and that's why I love it. Actually, that's the big reason, is like the cheese of it all, and the bank robberies I think are great. The ex-presidents are, you get Keanu Reeves and why am I trying to fucking blank on my boy Patrick Swayze's name right there? That's embarrassing. But Patrick Swayze, the two of them on the opposite sides. Gary Busey's in this movie. It's all so good. John C. McKinley. I love it all. I really, truly love Point Break.
I don't hate it. It's just, it's of the time.
Very much.
And the way that I thought about this was like how the person who wrote this movie came up with it was they were super stoned sitting on a surfboard with a friend and said, man, wouldn't it be cool to make a surfing movie? And then their other stone friend said, yeah, but Heat was really cool. And then the first person was like, yeah, dude, we could rob banks on surfboards, and wrote Point Break.
Well, Point Break came out before Heat. So, although the concept of Heat was before it, technically. So this film is actually, I don't remember what it's based on, if or Catherine Bigelow wrote it, but Catherine Bigelow at the time was married to James Cameron. And if you notice, James Cameron is an executive producer on the film. And I think he actually helped finish up the script. He did. He wrote parts of this movie. I think he's the one who actually came up with the ex-presidents, if I'm correct. So it was a good James Cameron in this bit, a good James Cameron bit in this movie as well. And it came out the week after Terminator 2. So good time to be in that household.
Yeah, big money bags coming through there. Again, listen, it was fine. I didn't hate it. I thought it was, you know what it is? It's weird. Like, Patrick Swayze movies are just bizarre. Like Dirty Dancing, Point Break, Roadhouse,
Ghost.
Like, yeah, they're just like, he's not. I mean, I don't know if he did, so I might be wrong, but he's not winning any awards for his acting in these movies. It's fine. That's the best thing I could say. Like, there are a lot of really cool scenes. The surfing stuff's really cool. I think a lot of it was shot really well. I do see where people say Fast and the Furious ripped off most of this.
I think it's 100% a ripoff.
Yeah, I see. That's honestly kind of what I went in knowing, is because again, I had never seen Point Break. The only thing I knew about it is people are like, every time Fast and the Furious comes up, they're like, oh, they literally made Point Break, but they drive cars instead. So that's what I went in thinking of. And I see that written all over the place here.
I mean, literally right down to the very end of the movie where he lets him go. It's like, might as well just be freaking Fast and Furious, except they didn't start a franchise.
Yeah. I mean, my only issue, like, if you turn your brain off and just go into this and watch it for what it is, it's a good movie. There's, the bank robbery scenes are cool. The surfing scenes are really cool. Like, him going undercover, like, it's fine. But like, the premise of it is basically that these surfers are robbing banks so they can keep surfing.
It's to fuel their endless summer.
Yeah, it's just like very, and the fact that like, the way. Okay, we need to talk about the way that Gary Busey's character is like, I have a theory that they're surfers. Look at his tan line on his ass.
I know. Gary Busey's, well, that's Gary Busey in a nutshell. He's a weird dude anyway. But he has the best line in the movie with the meatball sandwiches.
Utah, give me 2.
That actually threw me off. Like, because I think I looked away for a second. And then I look up and all of a sudden he's like, listen, kid, there's a place with these meatball sandwiches. They're the best in town. Go get them for. And I'm like, you're on a stakeout.
Well,
What?
he, and he's an idiot because that's how he's when he's not paying attention. That's when the robbery happens, and that's what leads to the whole thing. I mean, that chase sequence is good though, don't you think? With the through the streets and everything, and he throws a dog at him.
Yeah, I will say the chase sequence there is really good. I like that they did the callback with Keanu's knee injury, where he falls off the fence and hurts his knee, and then they have the moment where they're looking at each other, and you see Patrick Swayze's eyes through the mask, and they both kind of hesitate, and you could tell that moment of like they kind of became more than just like I'm an undercover and you're a criminal. They're friends at this point.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. I do feel like it's a little I don't know, long in the tooth where it's like everything is surfing. Oh, dude, let's go skydiving. Let's do like my grand escape plan is to go skydiving in Mexico. Like, I don't know, dude. Like some of it is like I said, a little gratuitous, but it was a fine movie and I wasn't upset that I watched it. That's what I'll say.
oh man, this is a once a year at least watch for me, and it's been for like 20 years. At least now,
Wow.
maybe 25. Yeah, I've always loved Point Break. I quote it. Lori Petty was one of my first crushes in life. She's also from Free Willy, so there's a lot of things working with me in this movie. It's kind of like my kind of tone. I never surfed, so there's no way that or I hate the beach. So there's a lot of stuff that it's strange that I like it, but early Keanu, Patrick Swayze. Those are kind of like checks some boxes for me. Even John C. McKinley as the chief. You're just young, dumb, and full of cum, aren't you? Like, love that guy. He's great in Scrubs, and the performances, like over the top performances. Even the Red Hot Chili Peppers are in this movie, which is always funny to me. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like that's why I said it's of the time. Like it fits perfectly for when it came out. And there's a lot to like. I do really like your crush. I think she plays her role really well. And no disrespect to Keanu or Patrick Swayze, they play their roles really well too. I just think the best part about this whole movie, it's always the bank robberies. I think the ex-president's part of it, that's the good part of this movie. Whenever the bank robberies aren't happening and Keanu's learning to surf or just getting drunk on the beach, it's like I don't really understand where this is headed.
you're not enjoying that like 90s aspect of that, which is really all it's trying to be.
Yeah, I guess it's like nostalgic in a way that I don't know. It's like too, like I said, it's too on the nose about it. It's so that's why I just wasn't a huge fan of it. Again, it's not bad by any means. I'm not trashing it. I could see a lot of the positives why people like it. I just personally going in, and maybe I have to watch it again because again, this is the first time I ever saw it. So maybe I got to give it another shot. But after viewing, the first viewing of it, it's just good.
All right, well that's fine. I'll accept good. Like I said, for me, this is a almost 5-star film. So for me, it's like a 9.5 out of 10. I see the flaws. I know that it's like, it's got them in there. Like that you can poke holes in the plot. It's a little ridiculous. Keanu again, somebody who's not the world's greatest acting, and when he's yelling at Gary Busey, like, "Yeah, you feel it," I'm like, "Oh, it's such a reach," but it's Keanu and I love him. So, but a
Yeah,
lot of people did love this movie, Dennis. That's the thing. People love it. That's why it gets the remake.
yeah. Well, listen, I went into the original, and when it was over, I said, "This feels like a movie that was made by a surfer for a surfer." Like that's all this was. You get to the remake, and boy, does my opinion change about the original.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with this movie. Now, I was one of those people. I distinctly I have a memory from 10 years ago of seeing the trailer and being like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like they're really going to do this?" I didn't see it. I didn't have to. I didn't have to watch it for YouTube. Directed by Ariscan Kaur. Like I'd never heard of him or anyone in this movie for the most part. Like Ray Winstone's in the movie. I'm like, okay, like you got an actor with like a name, and you get Delroy Lindo. But I'm like, even the two of them don't even look like they want to even be in this movie. Then forget the lead actors, the two of them playing Bodie and Utah in this movie, which again, his name's not even Johnny Utah. They couldn't be more than generic white guy number 4 and English white guy number 7. I feel like that's all they are in this fucking movie.
And that's everybody, honestly. They are all like, when we used to play SmackDown versus Raw, and you create a wrestler, template number 1, template number 2. That's what these guys are. Like you said, create an actor. Templates 1 through 6 were selected for this. No, there's no like at least in the other movies, right? Like, and I don't remember her name, but the one that you had a crush on with the short black hair.
Lori Petty.
Yeah, and her eyes, my goodness gracious.
Gorgeous. I know.
Couldn't But like the way her character was with her haircut, her style, her everyone in the original had style. They had something that made them their character. This is like classic Hollywood. We're just going to find these model people who don't even know how to act just because we want people to come here and be like, wow, everyone looked really good in this movie. But they didn't care about the substance whatsoever. They replaced your girl with Victoria's Secret model number 6. They replaced Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, like we said, with actor templates number 3 and 4. There's no depth, there's no connection, there's no character. Their purpose is totally different. And this one, if I thought the first one was like gratuitous, like, yeah, this is someone who likes to do adventurous stuff. My God, the remake was made solely by someone who just loves adventure stuff.
That's all it's about. You can clearly tell, like, the plot is 100% and, like, second. And honestly, when you watch the movie, the action sequences are not that bad. Like, I actually enjoy like watching like the way they like have like wide shots so you can see all the landscape of everything that they're doing. The shot with the money flying in the air. Like that was awesome to look at, like awesome visuals. Like in the first like 15 minutes, I'm like, the concept of this, at least they didn't try and remake the first movie. I'm like, okay, I'm into this. And then it really just falls off the rails hard.
Yeah, well, it starts to focus so much more on like the actual stunts. Like there's the one where they're diving through. It's like they're diving through the cave,
Yeah.
and they're talking about like, oh, they're the first people ever to successfully like enter the earth before pulling a chute or whatever the hell. Like it becomes that kind of stuff where it's just like it's all about just doing crazy stunts, and like you kind of start to lose in the first one. The stakes get so high because they end up killing a police officer during a bank robbery.
Yeah.
What is high stakes about what they're doing in the remake aside from the stunts that they're doing?
And they take the whole thing global. So it's like it's like and it's too hard to believe that more people wouldn't be involved in this with the amount that they're stealing. But also, like in the early parts, they're 100 like they're robbing banks in the original movie, and we don't know that they're like doing it just to. They're still doing it for selfish reasons. Like you might be able to justify it, but they're still fucking selfish, regardless. Any way you spin it. In this movie, they're like acting like almost like they don't care about anything else but about giving this stuff away, like being one with the earth. Like they took the philosophical questions from the first one and turned it up to the umpteenth degree, where it's like almost like how are we supposed to root for the cops at all in this movie?
Yeah, they're almost like in the remake, they're like Robin Hood, right? Stealing from the rich
Yeah.
to give to the poor. Because they're not like in the first one, they're all like, oh, we're screwing this system that screws us. And, we're doing what we have to just be able to live a free life without the shackles of society, right? Like that's kind of their premise, but they're still breaking the law. They're hurting people. They're scaring people. They're stealing money from people. So it's like that double-edged sword. Like, yeah, they want to live a free, peaceful life, but to do it, they have to do this violent stuff. In this one, the bad guys are basically like, yeah, we're stealing money, but like we're also just throwing it off a plane so that anyone down on the earth can have it, and we're not taking anything.
No, we're not. For us, it's about doing these. Essentially, what they're trying to do is what the movie Seven tries to do. Instead of like killing on the 7 deadly sins, they have the 8. I don't fucking know. There was a name for it.
Like the Osakas or something like
Yeah,
that.
like you have to do all 8, and one of them you don't even know. It's like, oh, nobody knows what it is. I'm like, well, who wrote the list? Like, really? Like, you put a mystery on the list? Yeah.
Yeah, like how, the guy writing it, he's like, gets to 7, he's like, all right, I need 8, I need 8, you know what? No one will get this far. I'm just not even going to put in 8.
Yeah, and the names look like this. If you would have told me this wasn't a Point Break movie and that they kind of spun it and put their names on it after, I'd believe you, because none of these people actually have their own characteristics to warrant those ridiculous names anyway. And like the movie's called Point Break, the first one, because it's the point break of a wave. There's one scene with a wave in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. They took it to like the first one, it was at least a surfing movie where they also skydived twice. Like, but it
Mhm.
was surfing. It was very beach, surfside life in that. This one, like you said, so they surf once and then they're doing all this other crazy stuff going on. And it's just, I think they missed the mark. And it's interesting because we talk about it. And the topic we always talk about on these original versus remake is it better to just do a shot for shot remake or to take a chance and kind of put your own twist on it? And I think this one put their own twist on it, but they just threw the original in the trash, except for the title, and said, "This is Point Break in title alone."
Yeah, exactly. And we'll take some names and we'll put them in there so people recognize it. And they put the shot of like him firing the gun in the air, and it couldn't have felt more forced because I knew it was coming. This felt exactly like the stepfather, like "Who am I here?" thing. Like you know it's coming, and it just feels so generic and forced because this guy just is not a good actor either.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too, right? Like we look back at the original and it's Keanu Reeves, it's Patrick Swayze, it's like it's big Gary Busey, like big name people are in that one. And people who I wasn't alive or, around when it came out in theaters, but like they were big at that time. They weren't unknown actors in this movie. These people who are they and have they made anything else after that?
I looked, they've done work, but like nothing that you're gonna remember them in.
Yeah, it's not like they replace these guys. Like we talk about all the time, like Spawn, right? And I think about that with I think Michael J. White was Spawn.
Yeah, Michael J. White.
And when we talk about replacing him, I'm like, Michael B. Jordan would be a really good, like, he's a big name guy. Michael J. White was a big name guy. Like, if you're going to remake a film, you got to bring in some star power. Even if you can't get two people to play Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze's character who are big name, you got to at least get someone to play like Johnny Utah's partner, who is a big name. Like, you need one, two, three other, even if they're secondary characters, you need some star power to help this movie. They treated this as if it was like a college film project. And they're like, pick a film and remake it, see how it does. And people just like threw a dart at a board and hit Point Break.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right in the sense that it was like almost like the director wanted to make an extreme sports movie, and like the studio's like, well, you can make Point Break. Like, that's like, all right, well, I'll merge the two then.
Yeah, he came to them and like, I just want to do all these crazy like adventure stunt stuff in my movie. And they were like, well, that's not really going to sell. But you know what? Slap the name Point Break on it. You'll probably get a little bit of money.
Yeah, like he didn't even want to commit to the guy's name being Johnny Utah. What's wrong with somebody's last name being Utah? There's plenty of people whose like last name is a state, or like, I've met people with the last name March, like, it's a month. Like it happens. I didn't ever like watch Point Break and go, it's crazy that his name's Johnny Utah. But no, it's a little silly, but it's like it's also not unbelievable where I needed a correction in the remake.
Yeah, like nobody cared about that. And that just shows you again. It feels like the director of the remake didn't even see the first one. He
No.
was just told, "Hey, listen, use the title. They like surfed and skydove and stuff. Like it's fine." And he was like, "Cool, cool, cool." Went and did his completely own thing, just totally changed everything. And it falls short in so much. Like at least, and that's why I said my opinion on the original being just fine when you put it next to the remake, the original's 10 out of 10 because it's original. It's got heart. Every character has traits about them. You care about them. You worry about their well-being. You wonder how things are going to play out for them. In the remake, you don't have any. I have more emotional attachment to my garbage can in my kitchen than I do to any character in this remake.
No, I agree with you, and it's unfortunate. I hated my time, and it's even ugly. They made sure to suck the color out of it, like they sucked the life out of it. So, for me, this one's one of the easiest layups, and I assume people will agree with us that the original Point Break is much better than the 2015 remake. And honestly, from our last poll, just to address that, very surprising. Me and Dennis both picked the 1953 remake as the winner, which was our first remake win. And now, this will, I think, bump it up 4-1. But you guys surprisingly preferred over 50% the 2005 remake and called us out on like maybe not appreciating it as much.
Yeah, which was a little surprising. House of Wax, man, I don't know. Like, listen, we understand. I think my problem is it's so generic in its early 2000s horror approach. That's my issue. Like we talk about these movies from the 80s, even 70s, 80s, 90s being nostalgic and they fit the time. I guess I'm just not a fan of that early 2000s horror time because House of Wax fits right in with all the Texas Chainsaw remake, all those other horror movies that came out between like 2000 and 2010. Those movies, those remakes all fit the bill for each other and they fit perfectly for that time frame. I think that's just my least favorite time for movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's right. I'm right there with you. That's one of my least favorite times. Like, there's some gems in there. I know you like the Friday the 13th '09 remake a lot. There's some good ones, but there's also a lot of shit that I think that remake fits into. But me and Dennis don't take anything away. Like, Dennis just basically called one of my all-time favorite movies fine, and I'm not gonna sit here and want to go kill Dennis. We respect each other's opinions because film is subjective. And if 50% of you guys think that the 2005 remake is better than the 1953 and 1933, that's cool. That's what film's all about. And that's why we do the show. We like to debate.
Yeah, and honestly, I like that we're getting this feedback on the polls. I think it would be a little bit more boring if it was just, we picked one and everyone else picked it. I think as long as you're not picking it just to be a contrarian, like if you actually feel that you like something more, that's cool. Like that's like John said, that's the reason we are doing this, to just open the discussion. And we might like the 1953 House of Wax, and you might like the remake, the newer remake, and that's the discussion. And that's why we like to do it. Just open the discussion up and hear your ideas, hear your opinions, and, see how we feel. We've changed a couple tallies before. I know Dawn of the Dead was the first one to actually get changed based on the poll because we were split. But so far, aside from that, we've been pretty cohesive on our decisions.
Yeah. And we haven't discussed what we're going to do on the next show yet. So I guess we won't really announce it yet. I know me and you were both hoping that The Vanishing would win for the next one. So maybe we just do The Vanishing for us.
Yeah, we can. I'm down for that. I think it's nice that we've done the poll a lot for people to pick. Sometimes I think it's nice for us to just get to do the one we wanted to. Because I was really pulling for that one. I thought that would win. But we keep getting surprised by these polls.
Exactly. And it shows us what our fans think, which is cool too, but so we'll do one for us this next time. We'll do The Vanishing, and then we'll put the poll out again for the following one. So, we hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you guys think of Point Break. There will be a poll out, so you guys can also let us know there as well. Leave those comments, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us, and we'll be seeing you around.